So let's say inside a dream, you are selling apples. And in the dream, when you are selling apples to someone, after they buy the apples, the apple gets converted to a snake. So they take the snake in their bag and fly. And after flying, they sleep in the clouds. So in one universe or in one dream, there are people who buy apples and they put that apple in the form of snake into their bag and they fly and sleep in the clouds. So when you were selling apple, when the apples were getting converted into a snake, your consciousness realized something. It was thinking, this doesn't make sense. Why is the apple converting into a snake? And why are people flying with that snake? So you question the dream. Then you realize, oh, I'm in a dream. That's why it doesn't make sense. Whatever I experience doesn't make sense. Let's say you got another dream where you are stealing someone's gold. So you have entered someone's house, you're stealing their gold, and the owner of the house found out that you're stealing. And the owner of the house gives a big hug and tells, I'm proud of you. So in this dream of yours, you have entered a character of a robber, and the robber, after he steals gold, the owner of the house hugs him and tells he is proud of the robber. So when the consciousness was inside the robber, and when it saw the owner's eyes through the eyes of the robber, the consciousness realized, this doesn't make sense. Stealing must be punished, but why is this owner giving me a hug? Then you realize you were in a dream. So that is how consciousness realizes it is in a dream, because it has a logical platform. That is, it has set its logic in some place. Every time some loka or some planet, some dream doesn't make sense, the consciousness realizes it is in a dream and it comes out of the dream. So that is what is happening throughout your life. That is, your consciousness is traveling to different universes, different planets, different lokas, and wherever it doesn't make sense, it doesn't stay for long. That is, in the loka where they used to put snake in the bag and fly in the sky and sleep in the clouds, it didn't make sense for your consciousness. And for your consciousness, it also didn't make sense when the owner of the house hugged the robber, hugged you. So wherever consciousness feels this doesn't make sense, it is completely illogical, it comes out of the character, it comes out of the dream. It realizes it is a dream, then it comes out of whatever place it has entered. So that is what is happening even right now. That is, now your consciousness is inside your body because everything makes sense. Whatever I'm speaking, whatever mobile you're holding, whatever TV or laptop you're watching, everything is making sense for you. And that is why the consciousness is still there in the body and mind of that character that you have entered. So until you realize that everything makes sense, you stay in the body. But once you realize everything is nonsense, everything is false, that is when you realize the truth. That is when the consciousness goes back to its original state. Because whatever is happening in front of you is completely illogical. You are feeling everything is logical because you have set a standard for your thinking. That is, in the Bhurloka, in the solar system, in Earth, there are certain standards of logic, and inside that logical thought processes, you feel the world is real, you feel the world makes sense. And that is why the consciousness is still there in the body. That is why it wakes up every morning with the body and the mind of a character in the Bhurloka. That is, my consciousness enters with Aditya's body because it feels the world is logical with respect to Aditya's body and mind. And that is why it's still there. Same with you. That is, your consciousness wakes up every morning through the eyes of the character that you're playing and watches the universe because it makes sense. Once it realizes even the logical threshold that you have set for yourself is also completely illogical with respect to other universes or with respect to the Sadashiva itself. Once you realize that everything that is going on inside the Maya is completely illogical, that is when you come out of this dream, come out of all the characters. So let's say from other universe, there is a character named Dilkush in some other parallel universe set by another causal being. So let's say there is a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu who has created a universe where a character's name is Dilkush. So that character's consciousness enters this universe and enters the body of Ramesh. So it enters the body of Ramesh to see how the world looks. So in a dream, that is when Dilkush is sleeping, he enters another parallel universe, that is our universe, and he sees the world through Ramesh's eyes. And you have to know that space-time is not same everywhere. That is, Dilkush can enter any timeline of Ramesh. That is, even the wakeful state of Ramesh, he can enter. So the Dilkush's consciousness enters Ramesh's body when he was playing football. So let's say Ramesh kicks football, and once he kicks, let's say the ball flies and hits the goalpost. So for Dilkush's mind, this doesn't make sense. Because in his universe, whenever the football is kicked, it comes back. But in our universe, when the football is kicked, it goes and hits somewhere else. So this didn't make sense for Dilkush. And that's how his consciousness realized that, okay, it is in a dream. It has to come out of the dream and enter back to its original universe. So it goes back to the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the original one, for Dilkush. And it goes back to the Dilkush's body. Then Dilkush opens his eyes and tells to his wife, Deepa, he tells, Deepa, I saw a universe where I kicked football and it went and hit the goalpost and everyone were celebrating. It was so weird. Then Deepa replies, yeah, even I got a dream where people cheered after I hit the goalpost and they celebrated my victory. It was a weird dream because in our universe, the ball always comes back when you hit. Very weird universe I entered. So they discuss like that because according to their logical thinking, if football is hit, it comes back. So according to their logical platform, their logical standard, that doesn't make sense. And that's why their consciousness didn't stay in our universe for long. It went back to its original universe. So that is how logic plays a crucial role for your consciousness to stay in the body. So whatever doesn't make sense, you question, your consciousness starts questioning, self-inquiring, and then it goes out. If it makes sense, then it stays. So that's why the first step to understand Sadashiva is dumping logic. So all logical explanation that you're craving for, you have to dump. You have to dump the desire to think. You have to dump the desire for logic because nothing makes sense in this world. Everything is illogical. Whatever is going on in every parallel universe, every Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's mind, everything is illogical. Once you realize that, only then you understand who is Sadashiva. So Sadashiva is the state of consciousness which dumps all logic, which dumps all the elements of Maya. It just stays in the most pure, non-dual state. It doesn't have right, wrong, logical, illogical, evil, holy, good, bad. It doesn't have anything. So that's why, to know the truth, just focus on pure thoughtless state. So to go to that pure thoughtless state, you have to take the help of a causal being. There are many causal beings in different universes, like Vishnu, Krishna, Kali, Baglamuki, Dhumavati, Durga Ma. So there are many causal beings in different universes, and you can take the help of any causal being. So in Janaloka, that is the causal realm, there are many deities, and through the help of deities, you can download the ultimate knowledge of truth. So when you do sadhana, when you do Mahavidya sadhana, any deity sadhana, Ganapati, Subramanya, Hanuman, you start realizing how illogical this universe is. So once you realize that, you dump all questions, you dump all answers, you dump basically everything and you go to the purest state. So once you go to the purest state of consciousness, pure thoughtlessness, only then you go back to the origin of universe. So that is how universe was created. The universe is created because of your thought processes. So all your desire for answers, questions, when you dump, only then you get the truth. Because thinking is also a desire which is keeping you in this universe. Curiosity is also a desire which is keeping you in this universe. So that is how all the Vishnus, all the deities, all the human beings, astral beings are created. Because of your thought process. Because you couldn't stay in the Sadashiva or thoughtless state for long. The very reason why thoughts are pumping in your consciousness is the reason why the universe exists. Once you learn how to dump all thoughts, how to dump all knowledge. Only then you experience the truth. I hope this video has brought some light to your consciousness. Thanks for watching and we'll meet in the next video. Jai Mahakal.